All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. When I say it's good to be here, it's no fucking joke. It is good to be here. Alan, please get it started off right, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most excellent, most excellent. How are you, brother? Good to see you. How you doing?
Oh man, it's very, very, very good to see you. I'm doing very well. Other than my work has cut my hours down. So I can only do 50 hours a week. It kind of sucks. Other than that, doing very, very well. Was gonna go out and do some plinking today, but got interrupted and had to do some work on the girlfriend's car. So that is what it is. But I'm golden. Good to see you, brother.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Jamie, what's happening, brother?
Man, it's just good to have you back on American soil, baby. I'm telling you what, there's nothing like visiting the home folks, but be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely, brother. You got that right. I had a fantastic time out there. It was really good to see the family. Good to see my nephews for the first time and got a lot of time with them. So definitely a good time. But definitely good to be back home too. So CW, what's going on, man?
Well, I want to welcome you home. I want to thank you for the invite. Had a good time today. Got to the range earlier. I've been battling a problem with one of my rifles, a 6.506, and I found a bunch of problems, but nothing that really said that's it. And I finally got a chance to get to the range with it today, and it fired perfectly. So I don't know exactly what I did to fix it, but I guess I shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth because it works. So I'm happy. So that's what I'm doing here tonight. I'm going to load up some shells and get to the range next time I get a chance and get it sighted in again. So good day so far.
Awesome.
Finishing out here will be nice.
Awesome, man. It's always good when you can figure it out, even though you're not quite sure how you figured it out. I've done that before.
Yeah, every time I turned around, I found something else that was, yep, that's it. And then I tried it, and nope, that wasn't it. Did that 3 times. There were definite problems, and definite things need to be addressed, but I wish I could have been like a light switch, and done that and then made it work. But hey, it works, so I can't really quibble.
You see, that's the thing. We should probably be thankful for the problems that we do see so that we can address those things that aren't really the cause of the problem, but a potential problem down the road. So,
Yeah, it was a head scratcher for sure. It was a head scratcher.
Yep, I understand that. I had one I worked on here, I don't know, about a month or so ago, maybe a little longer than that. And it took me a minute to figure out exactly what the issue was, but we got it figured out. But I went through everything I could think of, and it turned out to be the tiniest little freaking pin causing the problem.
Yeah, I did everything. I did everything I could think of. I mean, I made a chamber cast to see if I didn't have an oblong chamber or an egg-shaped chamber. I bore scoped it numerous times. I bore scoped my bolt. I mean, I looked at everything. I did find problems, and 3 times I was sure that was the problem. but I was able to test and recreate the problem, and it did it after I fixed it. So I don't know. I can take a shell that was a problem and put it in right now, and it'll do it. But it fired today, fine. So I guess my first intuition, or my second intuition, which was brass related, was probably a large portion of it.
I think so too.
I bought brand new brass, and
Yeah.
I loaded it with the same bullets, the same powder, the same everything. And the only thing was different really was the scope wasn't on it, and that has nothing to do with nothing. And it worked. So
Lakeview Outdoors, I resemble that remark. You just don't know.
It's probably most of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Now, we
get
got
some.
some good folks out there. Alan, you want to run through the side chat, brother?
Yeah, that's if I can get my boot box here to cooperate with me, because I am having issues. Nevertheless, Alaskan Ballistics out there, Ashley A, Edward Petty, Keith Gregory, Kyle, Lakeview Outdoors, Six Shooter Texan, Tactical Fud. There's been a couple of people complained about my internet connection. It is terrible. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get a different connection, but they just don't want to service me. I'm not sure why, other than the fact that nobody, including myself, can get a hold of my landlord. Yeah. So I apologize if I start roboting or have a really crappy picture. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm having the same problem tonight. I'm not sure why, but mine is all the way down. I don't know what the hell. So work's keeping you busy?
Not as busy as I'd like to be. I do enjoy working 65 hours a week, 60 hours a week. It definitely keeps me occupied. They've cut my hours down. Things have slowed down a little bit. It's our slow time of season. Simply because everybody's out using their equipment. And so there's not a bunch of companies buying units, and so it's our slow time of season. It'll pick up here right around the corner. It does. But I have been able to get a few. I have been able to get a few more cranks on the reloading machine as of past week, and just miscellaneous adulting done. That has been tossed onto the back burner here and there. So yeah, it's giving me just a little bit more free time than I used to have, and which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just something I'm not accustomed to.
What's up, Rob?
Not much. How's it going, guys?
Hey, Rob, good to see you.
Just tried to get back here on time, but didn't quite make it. So you were a perfect excuse to leave a party with a lady that was so drunk she wouldn't stop talking, and it was just so annoying. And I was like, oh, yeah, we got engagements. I gotta go.
Glad we could help out.
It's just
Thank
fashionably
you.
late.
Thank you very much. You're a great wingman.
Yep, sounds like you were having a great time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nah, it was one of those, I don't know, obligation type things, I guess you could say. So wasn't horrible, but wasn't great.
Howdy, Rob.
How you doing?
Better than I deserve. What about you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I've been on a I don't know, a lucky streak lately, I guess. So things have been working out pretty well. Hopefully it keeps going.
Man,
Big Al jumped into the side chat out there. Good to see you. TAB videos. Good to see that guy out there as well.
absolutely.
Keith Gregory.
The Warsaw Patriot.
So you guys got plans this weekend? Anything with family, friends, anything like that going on? Well, shit, weekend's about over, right? But anything tomorrow? Are you guys stuck going to work?
We're gonna have
Probably.
rain.
The one thing that I don't have to do is go to work. I don't actually go to work tomorrow. It does break my heart, my achy, breaky heart.
Well, Billy Ray
Yeah.
was obviously wrong because I understand. I'm in the same boat. I got tomorrow off too, so and I'm not complaining.
Not only do I have tomorrow off, but I am taking a vacation day on Tuesday, which is my last one of the year because we reset July 1 on a fiscal year. And
Okay.
my plans for tomorrow right now are to pick up Kyle Lusk in Cartersville, Georgia, and drive to the National Cemetery in Canton, just outside of Canton, for Memorial Day. And they always have the flags on all the graves. It's an awesome time and an awesome experience. So if you guys have a national cemetery close by, I would encourage you to do that. Yeah. How many of your towns have some kind of a Memorial Day observance for tomorrow?
Don't believe mine does. Not my individual town, city, or what. I know there's one close, like adjoined to us.
Yeah, definitely not enough. There's one, but that I know of, but it's a good hour and a half away. There's nothing close by.
There's memorials, but not a memorial park where they actually do something.
We got so much going on in my town. I have to pick and choose what I'm going to do. We have
Good.
a cemetery in my town called Myrtle Hill, and the main attraction there, I mean, just off of downtown, there's a tomb to the known soldier, a citizen of our town who sacrificed his life in World War One, and it's a big deal. And we go down there every year, and But since I met Kyle, I've been going to the National Cemetery over in Canton, and they really decorate the place up. Very nice.
Sounds like a good event, good day.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully you have a good time, or decent time.
Definitely a blessing.
That sounds like some of the folks out there have some good things going on in their town, so that's good.
Yeah, I try to avoid the cemeteries myself, that side of the aspect, but I don't know. It's I'm one of them people that feel when you're gone, you're gone. You live within us, but other than that, it's just a marker in the grass. So, but
Yeah.
everybody's different, and I don't mean to now listen to myself. I'm like bringing everybody down probably or something. So forget that. Sketch that all out.
Nah, you're good, man. It's always good if you can go to at least some kind of memorial, though. There's a couple small ones in town, but I get not going to the cemetery and stuff. I get that.
I do try to attend. I do try to attend a certain couple of memorials every year. But one of the things that is not really a great tradition for me is I have 2 or 3 or 4 guys that typically will call me on that day. And so it's not just like a catch up conversation. It's just not just a shooting a breeze conversations typically. So it's not it's not an easy day. And I just hear people say, happy Memorial Day and happy, they're just think it's all about, barbecues and drinking and having a good time. It's always a little bit of a hard day for me.
Yeah, it's kind of sad in some cases where people don't really understand the meaning of it. You'd like to think you might take a minute and Google it. Obviously people celebrate or do things in different ways, but it's not technically not really a celebration. I don't know. I guess it could be, depending on your connection and what the people were like that you may be thinking of. But in most cases, it's more about remembering the ones that sacrificed, the ones that lost their life and are no longer with us. A lot of people seem to confuse it with Veterans Day or something, but there's a difference. If you don't know, now you know. So yeah, us damn Americans, we don't even know our own history half the time anymore. Stuff. It's getting sad.
Well, that's part of the problem, but
We got
the
a
other problem
president
too is it's that the media makes it that way. They don't want you to know history.
Yeah, I think you're right. So what's on the agenda for tonight?
We don't teach cursive anymore, so that the newer generations won't be able to read the Constitution. We got a president that doesn't even know his head from the hole in the ground. Boy, that's going to have to change. I'll say, you know, this, when the election comes up, there's going to be just reasons and excuses for people to go off and start doing riots and everything else. They're either going to not like who got elected or just make an excuse out of that. Or there's going to be actual reasons, because if somehow the current president gets reelected, it's going to get ugly. Because of it, we're going to end up having to take our country back somehow. It's just, we can't endure another 4 years of this current administration.
You know, the more you read about Memorial Day, the sadder it gets. It started after the Civil War. It was referred to as Decoration Day. As we continued to grow as a nation, fought more wars, it became Memorial Day. But it really wasn't. I think it was like in 1971 when it finally officially became Memorial Day and was named the very last Monday in May as an official holiday. And before that, it had always been celebrated on the last day of May, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Warsaw out there talking about, you know, the uprising that's going to end up, or I don't know if uprising is the right terminology, but the reaction of what's going to happen once the Supreme Court decides on what the states are doing about violating the Buren decision. Why can't I speak? I have no idea. Violating the Buren decision.
Bruin.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with my
It's that
speaker at the moment.
UN thing. The UN is hard to get out for many reasons.
Yeah, we knew what you were trying to say. All of us are well versed in gibberish. Wouldn't be able to understand me if not.
Ronnie Brown, cheers, brother.
Yeah, 4 more years of the puppet. I don't know how well that's going to work out.
I kind of
Definitely needs to.
He won't last. He won't see 4 more years.
I agree with A&A. He didn't win the first time, but at this time he wins. Yeah.
Okay. See, the problem is it's already started.
Yes.
Our Rhino governor's already approved that he can be on the ballot when he missed the slot to be on the ballot. So our Rhino governor's already started.
I heard that with a slightly different take on the show that used to be Rush Limbaugh's show. What is it? Buck and I can't remember now. Anyway, I like those guys, but they were touting how grand the Republicans are, the conservatives, for going out of their way to make sure that the Democrat was on the ticket. But yeah, man. And I said something last night on Hillbilly's show. I kind of been regretting that I said it. It's kind of like I needed to explain it a little more. Uh, with the election coming on, and guys like us on the panel, uh, we're going to be accused of being what's wrong with this country. So be prepared. We cling to our Bible and our guns, and I've got 3 Bibles right there, and I can't count the number of guns that's in this room. But yeah,
I've been called worse. It don't matter.
yeah.
The difference, we don't. We got tough skin. We're not crying for mama every time something's funny.
I've said it more than once, and I'll say it again. I'm a big boy. I can take it. Bring it.
Absolutely. And
Times like these,
Mom and
it's not
Dad,
easy being a patriot.
No.
that's it. Bam and Dad, it's all a dog and pony show, man. There are very few that are actually doing their job. Now look at the current way they're talking with the ATF director and stuff. You keep seeing all these videos of how they're chewing them out and doing this and doing that, but what is it actually doing? Are we getting anywhere? No. It's just a dog and pony show.
Warsaw, we're unique as Americans. Even the Japanese said that they had awakened a sleeping giant, and they didn't want to invade the American mainland because, quote, there's a gun behind every blade of grass. When we let these liberals defeat the Second Amendment, when they start taking our guns, we're wide open for anybody that wants to come on this shore and take us. We're ripe for the picking at that point. Which is what the Second Amendment's all about. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Behind every blade of grass stands a free American with a rifle. That's why they don't come here.
In my opinion, only tyrannical organizations, governments, people, whatever you want to call them, want to take away your damn arms. We should all be in this together. So I don't understand why. Well, but they shouldn't be trying to disarm us. That's what's a red flag, I guess you can call it. Not the type they like to throw around, but definitely a problem.
Yeah, even with the laws that they have on the books that we have in this country, Biden was right when he said, what's an AK-47 going to do against a freaking air fighter? We can't. We're not going to be able to take over and take our government back if our men and women in uniform actually stand with the government. Then again, every single one of them people took an oath to enemies foreign and domestic. So
I don't know, man. I think it's possible. I think casualties would be extreme and it would be long. And, there's been other situations where people in sandals and AKs have put up a hell of a fight. You know, so I think it can be done. I'm sure we would lose certain areas for time periods, but everything needs resupply. The military needs support. If they're having issues getting around, it's going to be problems. Things don't last forever. Numbers don't hold forever. People get injured. There's a lot of casualties. There's a lot of, it takes a lot to have a soldier on the field and supplied. When that starts getting affected, who knows? I'm not rooting for anything one way or another, but never say never. That's all I'm getting at. I think it is possible, but we would probably be unrecognizable at that point.
still fascinates me though. It's some of the youth doesn't pay any attention at all as to what's happening politically, but they've got such strong opinions about how it should be ran, and but they don't pay any attention at all as to what's actually happening politically. More or less know the history of what politicians have done.
You know what happens when politicians run wars? Vietnam.
Therein lies a whole nother issue. Now you're into the whole military-industrial complex and how they're all making money, or they're all invested in it, and who gets this and who gets that.
Meanwhile, 58,000 of our sons didn't make it home.
Exactly.
Which is why we have Memorial Day.
Yeah, another little tidbit on that whole, thing we were just talking about is the fact that, one thing I don't think people really maybe grasp the numbers, but there's a lot more civilians per state than military service members, like a lot more. Obviously there's they have better equipment or whatnot, but still there's a lot. And then you got to consider in that lot more, how many of us are veterans? How many of us are under a different time frame where we still have those values, morals, skills? We didn't serve where you get to throw up a card because you don't feel good today, and get to go hang out in the barracks and shit. Yeah, there's a difference. So I don't know. I think this older generation is a lot harder than the newer generation. So I will add that in there.
Well, yeah,
Patriot
I
in the dark,
am
correct?
Generation
Well,
X. I straight up, I am Generation X. I grew up with a key latched around my neck, with no observations. I was hardly, both my parents worked, for in a lot of ways. I had to take care of myself real young and learned a lot real young. And nowadays I was having this conversation with a 20-something year old, and I was like, they'll never reinstate the draft. Nah. I'm like, if they want to, they'll reinstate the draft. Well, it's illegal. No, they'll just make it unillegal. I'm like, and think about it. If they reinstate the draft nowadays, you're going to have these purple-haired, man bun wearing guys going into the military going, okay, we're gonna set out and we're gonna march down this field here for 5 miles before we get to anything. Well, looks like there's ragweed out there. I don't know. Can we do this later because it's really going to affect my allergies?
The sad part is you're not wrong.
Yeah, even basic hardships, what can be considered hardships, and a lot of the modern younger people, they've how many of them have had to wash their clothes in a bathtub or in a creek or something? You know what I mean? Like how long have they gone without power? Yeah, a lot of that stuff is gonna be a problem. So obviously, if you're speaking military and whatnot, I mean, just on that aspect, I mean, they'd probably be arguing about feelings. They don't feel like doing it today and stuff like this. So that's I don't know. When you're talking about the mass, the majority of people, because honestly, there is some kids out here today that are pretty badass, man. They're rare, but there is still some decent kids coming out. It's not as popular, I don't think.
Yeah. And Jesse's out there. She's not wrong either. She's talking about how they were, well, a lot of them were forced to leave because they didn't want to take the hokey pokey. And it's 100% right. There's a bunch of them that were forced. There were some that they weren't dishonorably discharged. They were just discharged. But I know a few people that were kicked out because of that. And then I think it was about 6 months ago or so, they got asked to come back, and they basically told them to spin.
I just pray we got some old school drill sergeants left in the military. And if we do, Warsaw, you don't need to be worrying too much about China. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of, but golly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, like a lot of things, old school people kind of phase out because they don't like the new policies. Their hands are tied. It's too hot out. You can't drop them out here. Things like that where it's just different from the past. I mean, how do you create a fighting man if you gotta treat him like a pussy? I mean, if we're just being honest, how do you do that? So I don't know.
That's exactly it. That's exactly right. And that's the problem nowadays is the old school ones aren't allowed to do what they used to do.
Well, even way back in Vietnam and even prior to that, but it was really the main problem in Vietnam was their hands were so tied that they couldn't even defend themselves. More or less accomplish the tasks that they were given.
Vietnam.
Because again,
what about hearts and minds, man? That shit still goes on. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but yeah, I think that's a revolving habit, unfortunately, through the service. So
think uh, I think Russia and China both. I mean, that's the game plan, right? Them, both of them are going to gang up on us eventually. And when it'll happen will be when we finally have had enough of each other and we start bickering like we always have, the left against the right. See, there's a lot to that thing about you cling to your Bible and your guns, and the left is wanting to take our guns, and they want to make the Bible irrelevant. And I get it, you know. Everybody that don't believe it wants it to be irrelevant, but you're going to be playing right into the cards of these worldwide powers that want us to fail, because they'll when we start actually addressing those situations, that's when the enemy's really going to pounce, in my opinion.
Well, yeah,
Does that make
and it
any
makes
sense?
it really makes a guy wonder, why does one side constantly want so much turmoil within our country? Why are they always constantly trying to create so much divide? Why are they constantly trying to suppress our knowledge and eliminate history and um dumb us down? And why? It really makes a guy wonder. And then you start really looking at that big global picture, and is there similarities? Is there things that go, yeah, there absolutely is. And so if there's so much civil unrest within our own country, that just makes us more ripe for the picking.
I think they're in for a surprise, though. I pray they're in for a surprise. Go ahead, New York.
I was gonna say, I think so too, Jamie. I think it's gonna be like the two sisters or brothers or whatever that are at each other's throat all the time, but will go down, in the blaze of glory defending one another. Yeah, I think I would like to hope that's going to be the case, that if we ever do get invaded, that people will come together. Unfortunately, it always takes a tragedy for that to be the case. I mean, people think back to 9/11, how people's attitude changed for a little bit. Every damn house had a flag out there, uh, yeah, it always takes something horrible to really bring people together, unfortunately. But I would like to think we would do that at that point. At least enough of us to make it matter. So I mean, there's always assholes everywhere, and people that prey on other bad situations. But as a whole, I think they'd have a hard time. I really do. I think a strike's fairly easier than people want to admit. I think, I think it could happen very easily from the inside. There's enough people here already. Infrastructure's weak. You get chaos going on. people get scared to travel, people get scared to go out, things can get a little crazy. And I don't think it takes much to set it off. But I think I think it'd be harder. We'd be a handful. I put it like that. I think they'd have something coming.
Warsaw, dude, don't ever count this country out. Don't ever count my country out.
And a lot of vets, they're looking for any reason, anything that'll beat cancer. Give them a justifiable, honorable way to go out, and they're going to take it. That's not even just vets. That's just certain types of people.
Old men like me. Yeah.
Honorable death is respectable. It's honestly all I could hope for. Yeah, I'd rather something die for a cause than die in a pile of piss and shit and in a bed in a hospital with people that don't give a shit. Well, I suffered for a year and a half before.
Yeah, take Doc Holliday, for example. He tried his dead level best for somebody to kill him so he wouldn't die of tuberculosis. Look what happened to him. Turned out to be one of the greatest gunfighters and outlaws in the history of the whole West. A dentist from Griffin, Georgia, who didn't want to die of tuberculosis. Yeah, think about that, China and Russia. All right, so we lost Allen. What's going on here?
He's having internet problems too. That's why I got my camera off. I'm keep having low signal. I'm not sure why.
There he's back. Almost.
He's working on it.
He's trying. Come on. We're pulling for it. There he is.
Yeah. I think I'm back now. I think I'm back now. I don't know.
Warsaw, I love you, brother, but I think Merle Haggard said it best. When you're running down our country house, you're walking on the fighting side of me. Don't ever count out the stars and stripes, brother. We've seen dark days before, and we'll get through this just like we got through everything else that the world has thrown at us. Through faith in God and through determination.
All right, so let's get to a little bit of a lighter note. So, Jimmy, I haven't had a chance to really talk to you a whole lot about it yet, but you went up and shot competition, brother. So, why don't you tell us about that?
No, I'm embarrassed. I didn't get to finish the state. My shotgun failed me. I went to watch my first cowboy action shooting match, and they insisted that I shoot a stage before we left. And I took Ricky Baird with me, and I enjoyed it. I had a good time. But, dude, Ricky Baird is freaking smitten. I mean, he's foaming at the mouth. And I'm so excited to get in there with him and do it. And it's like anything else. If you got a buddy that's going along with you, there's an accountability there. If a match starts at 8:00 and it's an hour drive away, so that means I got to be on the road by 7, which means I got to be up by at least 6, if not 5:30. You know what I mean? So, but if you've got that friend that's counting on you to come pick them up, so that makes you get up and go and do. It makes you do your reloading. It makes you
Accountable.
get your guns clean and all that. So find a partner, find a buddy that wants to do this stuff, and y'all go have a blast. Because I'm telling you, cowboy action shooting ain't nothing but fun. So
See,
I'm
you
shooting.
didn't finish. You didn't get to finish the stage, but you had a blast. See, it says it all right there, man. Go out and have fun.
So this is what happened. We started with the rifle, 2.62. You got 3 targets out there, and then on the pistol you got to do the same thing, 2.62. But with a pistol you got 5 shots in each one, so it's actually 2, 3, 3, 2. Then you got 4 shotgun targets you got to knock down. All right, so the rifle went great. The revolvers went great. Shotguns, bang, bang. I reload, put 2 more in there, bang, and the second shot didn't go off. I still don't know why. So I was down to the very last shot of the stage, and the shotgun locked up. And I don't know why. Did I pull the wrong trigger? Yeah. I don't know. But I'm going to take that shotgun out before the next match. And
I thought it wouldn't open.
it wouldn't open. It wouldn't fire.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
I have not done this before. Let's see what we got here. SASS membership. Watch this.
Here we go.
It rolls right back up. And I got a bag. Let me get it out this bag. I've not had this out of this bag yet.
That's pretty cool. Nice. Look at that.
Turn it where you can see the number. I don't know if y'all should have my number, right? And Walsh
pretty
Fletcher
slick, man.
said a 6-digit SASS number is foreign to him. And they give you a little pin. Come on. And I think CW's done some of this.
Yep, I have.
And that's what I want.
There you go. Nice.
And I have not
In the
shown this.
45 or 357.
357 for sure. 38's really. Check this out. Bullets by Scarlett. And if she ain't from Georgia, I'm going to demand that she change her name. She makes lead bullets and sells them too. And she's even an FFL. So you pretty much in single action shooting society, you gotta load your own stuff because you can't use jacketed bullets. It's got to be lead. You can't use jacketed. But that's right up my alley. And I was supposed to have called 6-shooter Texan yesterday, and I failed to do that because I had to go cut grass and work in the yard and all that crap. But Yeah, man. I'm also contemplating doing what is it? IPDA, IPSA, whatever.
IDPA.
IDPA. Yeah. I got two buddies that are doing that and they want me to do that, but that's going to require loading a lot of 9mm. But I'll do that when I can. But I really want to focus on the cowboy action shooting thing.
I think that's where you'll have the most fun.
You too, brother.
Yeah, I'll be getting there soon.
And I'm shooting 44 right now on the revolvers and the lever action, but I'm wanting to change to 38s. So, and Big Al's got something inbound for that, so I think that's going to be cool and very cool. 38s is just what everybody uses. I mean, the recoil is minimal, and I mean 44.
Yep.
I mean, you can do 38s easy. Watch this. Is Tommy Boy out there? .38 special, Brad. I think somebody wants
There
me
you go.
to shoot boy action shooting stuff. Okay, hold on. What is that?
just a little bit, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. Those came from Tommy Boy, and I appreciate him.
Yeah, Rich, I think you'd enjoy it too, man.
Okay, there comes a point in time where we got to decide what's important in our lives, and we got to make choices about priorities. And we all got more guns than we can shoot, I think, and especially that guy. So it might be time to start narrowing down the priorities here, and let's take and trade or sell something and buy what we want to do what we really want to do. What's going to add that enjoyment into our lives, help make our lives worthwhile.
As long as you're not asking me to choose between brownies or chocolate chip cookies.
I thought you were going to say something
Okay,
about
to each
salads.
their own. I was to each their own. I was thinking hookers and blow, but whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's certain questions friends just don't ask friends to give up. I don't know. Or choose.
I grew up in the 70s. I could say some really bad things right now that I'm going to refrain from. But I probably will put it in the private chat.
Sometimes the best things happen in the private chat, folks. You just never know.
Damn, Jamie, 4 of them? That's all I gotta say.
Well, there's Rich picking on you.
I'm telling you, peanut butter and chocolate is a match made in heaven.
To your comment, yes, sir, you're 110% right. I will agree with that.
I second the motion.
I knew he was an animal.
He acts all sweet and innocent, but trust me, he's not.
Well, usually those people got a lot to make up for. Come to find out, Jamie's one of them.
Yeah, that's why I try to serve the Lord every single day, because I've got a lot.
How does the
He's
shirt go?
forgiven me for.
Don't mistake my silence for ignorance, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just keep your mouth shut and smile and nod.
Yep.
I think I'm being called. I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
So he done did it now.
She must have saw that comment.
She's like, how do I get in the back chat? You want to sleep in the bed or in your truck?
I know his wife. You don't mess around.
Pickup truck has a bed never has been made, bro.
That's it. Joe Diffie said so.
I've camped in the back of my truck a few times. Threw an air mattress back there. Yeah, threw the cap on the truck. 'Cause I got a cap I never use anymore, but it was actually quite nice, honestly. Remember one morning driving to Dunkin' Donuts with the lady in the back. That was hilarious.
Good to see
All
you
right,
out there,
Good seeing you,
Rich.
brother. Appreciate you popping in. So what's Rob been up to, man? What's been going on with you?
Well, lots of work. It's basically pretty much working what 6 days a week, about 10-hour days lately. So sometimes 11. Try to relax, and then you notice grease on your rim or something, and then you find out you got to change drive shafts or CV joints, and life basically stuff like that. So I've had a pretty good deal with work lately, so that's been doing well, which I'm happy about. Yeah, had to get new boots and was lucky and found something I actually like on sale, which is never the case, So the stuff I always like, you can't find, or they want double the price for some reason. So it seems like, or it's just not in your size. Yeah, that's a good one. Like pair of jeans. Good luck. But yeah, that's pretty much that. All I can really share. Probably forgot something.
I hear you.
Think about it.
I hear you as far as the finding jeans issue and stuff like that. That's usually one I got to go online for. Can never find them just long enough and wide enough at the same time. So it's always one or the other.
Yeah, yeah. yeah, it can be a real pain sometimes. So, and then finding like real jeans without all that stretchy shit, or they're uh, what
Yeah.
is it, skinny, like skinny jeans and all that shit. So I don't know. It's difficult to find a decent pair of jeans. So at least in my
Well,
area, unless you're going for the fashion type
they're
stuff or
doing
whatever.
they're doing more and more different cuts instead of just sticking to the basic cuts as well, which is always an issue because you never know what you're going to get once you actually get them.
Yeah. Yeah, I've ordered a set from like I can't remember if it was Wrangler or Levi, but they ended up being like $55 or something. Matter of fact, I just threw them on, but I think they were like $55 or $65 or something. But they're not exactly what I thought they were. So they're all right, but they're still not what I thought they were, and not cheap. To custom order a pair of jeans. So basically. You can do that if
Right.
you don't mind spending $50-$60. There might be deals or sales or something like that. But I would go with what you think you want and just get one pair and make sure you're happy with it before you go dropping a few $100.
Yeah. Yeah, I get the same issue with boots. Usually I have to custom order the boots.
Mm. Yeah, I've been having a good run with Merrells lately. I've been really liking those, like, as far as like a hiking shoe, working shoe, but I actually got the mids. I can't remember what the model of the boot was, but basically bought them after work because I required I had to have these, boots on or whatever for this other job. And I have boots, but they're I don't really want to wear them for this purpose. Anyway, needless to say, I went and bought a pair of boots, put them on the next day, never broke them in, nothing, and my feet felt great. So that's rare with just buying a pair of boots like that. So that's one thing I gotta throw at Merrill. So they're pretty much ready to go. So from at least
Right.
for me. So that's nice.
I've been having good luck. I've been having good luck with Ariats. They're a little pricier, but I've been
Okay.
having good luck with them. They're usually pretty comfortable right off the get go.
Cool. Yeah, that's hard, to be able to avoid a break-in, but I must say they're one of those hybrid type boot where it's not just 100% leather, and they're waterproof or whatnot. So, but when it comes to like straight leather boots, I've never met one that doesn't have a break-in period. Yeah. At least me. Same thing with a nice pair of leather gloves, like, go work outside and stuff. When they're brand new, Jesus. Yeah. And then they become lovely after you use them for a while.
Yeah, usually about 3 or 4 uses, and they'll start to wear. And yeah.
So I'm foaming at the mouth for a pair of Tacovas. Do y'all know? Have y'all seen Tacovas? They're an online company. They're starting to do some stores regionally, brick and mortar stores.
No, I'm
I
not
don't think I've heard of
familiar
that.
with it. Yeah.
Let me find the link.
Ramadan says they got them there locally.
Yeah,
So,
I gotta go see. I gotta go see him, and I need to go buy a pair of these boots. So
why you drooling over these boots?
I'm drooling over these boots.
Yeah, but why? what's got your fancy?
Real Western style. They're designed in Texas, manufactured in Mexico. Bovine, uh, calf, different kinds of materials. And you can get some that are hybrid type stuff with the rubber soles or whatever. But yeah, man, I just want a classic cowboy boot. I only own one pair, and they're an old pair of dingoes that I've had forever, and they still fit my feet. I mean, you can bash them if you want to, but I'm telling you, man, they still fit my feet. That's the thing about a pair of cowboy boots. You get them broke in, you get them fitting on your foot, and man, they just feel like they make you feel like a man because that is the style of manly footwear.
Make you feel like a man. Well, you gotta get yourself a pair of those boots then, I guess.
Well, a good pair of boots is important. And the
Oh
Scotsman,
yeah.
y'all know.
Yep. I agree. I'm a cheap son of a gun, but when it comes to footwear, I tend to not be afraid to spend money if you got to, because especially if you make a living on your feet all day, even if you don't, mobility is key. Survival situations, just life in general. It's a lot nicer when you're not in pain to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Or staying on your feet for 10, 12 hours a day, running
Yeah.
around like a maniac. So yeah.
There's Redbird out there. Good to see you.
That's going to be my next pair of boots. No kidding. I would stick to their boots though, because when you start looking at their jeans, they got this thing called Scotch Goat. That's probably what I'm going to be getting. Um, but when you get to their shirts and their socks and their belts and all this other stuff, it gets really expensive really quick. But you know, $250 to $400 for a good pair of cowboy boots is not unheard of.
$400.
Oh yeah,
Damn.
They got some nice ostrich boots, man.
Dude, I probably owned a car for that cost, $400. I know I got a truck one time for like $5. Actually, no, I think I
Yeah.
got it for like $300. So maybe I think I owned a truck cheaper than those boots.
See, here's the thing though, Rob. You can spend $400 or $500 on a good pair of boots, and it's like walking on air.
Yeah,
They're so
yeah.
freaking comfortable. It's ridiculous.
Well, I don't know. I've never tried a pair, so I won't knock them until I try them. I'll put it that way. But $400. That's getting up there, Jamie.
It'll change your world, brother.
$115 for a pair of jeans and $88 for a shirt. So
I know somebody whose wife, ex-wife, they're not married anymore, which is good for him. But she worked. They both. Well, anyway, for a fashion company, basically. It was kind of cool because every time they came around, she'd always have like a gift package for me with like boxers, all types of shit, and it's expensive stuff. So it was kind of cool on that aspect. But because she worked at a place like that, it was common for her to buy her jeans cost $500 a pair. and it was all because of some swoosh thing. It was. I don't even know what kind of brand it is or whatever, but so when she goes out to buy jeans, she's going to spend like $3,000. Like I couldn't believe that. Like I almost had a meltdown when he was talking about that at a get together. Like I damn near shit myself. Just I couldn't believe it. That's just crazy.
Now see, these got those treads on the bottom. I prefer a leather sole, especially there on the heel, like right here. But yeah, that's a good looking boot. $295
Yeah,
for
I
that.
can see, bro.
I don't know, man. Yeah, we all got our taste, but doesn't look like $300 to me. But I am strictly going by looks. I know nothing about leather quality or any of that type of stuff, or the workmanship that goes into it, or
See, that's bison leather. It's got that Vibram rubber sole, which I will not buy that though. So the one I think I want is the Cartwright.
why don't you like the Vibram? Just out of curiosity.
I want a leather sole.
Okay. I'll say a lot of my Merrills come with the Vibrams. I like them personally, but we all got different tastes or doing different things. So I tried to stick with that because it was one of my issued boots was that as well. So and I could still wear that boot today. It's I don't know if I'd pass an inspection, but it's they're it's almost as if they're made for my feet at this point. You know what I mean? So they're worn past their life, probably for sure, but still comfortable.
There is absolutely no way that you will catch me wearing a cowboy boot. I just can't. I can't do it. As a child, I was putting cowboy boots, had an incident that impaled me onto the back of a Cadillac, and have not put a pair of cowboy boots on my feet ever since. And nowadays, if I'm not at work or something like that, and it's good weather, I sure the hell ain't going to be wearing cowboy boots with a kilt. That just don't work.
That's
Dude,
my
Yeah,
boot
that doesn't work.
there.
just stay away from Cadillacs. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I seen a nice one today. I don't know what year or whatever, but red at the gas station when I was driving by. Convertible, looked like, from 30, 40 feet away, which isn't saying much if you're a car guy, but looked like a show car. It looked pretty nice. So like a nice car, taking a nice leisurely ride in on a beautiful day. If somebody else is paying for the gas.
This one right here is made, particularly look at that 2 weeks wear thing going on right there. That one's made of Scotch goat, and it's got your leather stack heel, your leather sole, and it's a traditional cowboy boot. It's got your round toe. Your toes are not going to be crunched up like those pointed toe boots that I had back when I was a kid. So, but
Yeah.
this
You
is
don't want
not.
you don't want to settle in boots that got a big curly Q on the end, or maybe a like taxidermied cobra snake sitting up on all the way up on the end, come up to about your knee.
I don't know about all that, Alan. I'm just saying that this is my next pair of boots. That particular boot you're looking at right there. And, $295 from Tacovas online or at one of their stores, and this is not a Tacovas commercial. This is me what I would spend my money on, plain and simple.
They got that style of dress shoes too, where they got the long tip toe. And yeah, I just personally not a fan. I can see there being an advantage, like if you plan on kicking somebody or something. But other than that, it just
Climbing
I
for
don't know. I think people do it to try to make their feet look bigger, like to imply something else is bigger or something. I don't know, because it always seems to be like the douchebag is wearing them. You know?
You ain't right, man.
I don't know. I just call it how I see it. I don't know. Maybe, maybe I'm wrong.
But yeah, I'm infatuated with the Covas. I may buy a pair and wish I never had, but I really like that round toe style right there. When you look down at your feet and you see that, that's awesome.
Well, I got one to show you here, Jamie, that I honestly think it would look good. It would look good while you're doing cowboy shooting. And I'm not sure if yeah. I'm telling you, buddy. What do you think? Got enough toe out there so that people know that you are the honcho. You are the
Oh,
big boss.
Is that a Jambi Gay special?
No, that is the El Mexicano boot. That it's a shot glass boot, they say. It's actually a shot glass, but it's got that Mexican El Jefe flair.
I'm so disappointed in you, Alan. I thought I knew you better than that. My heart hurts. Yeah, we're going to have to add Alan to our prayer list.
My nicest pair of boots, Jamie, would be I think it's pronounced Lucchese or something like that. I got a pair of those, nice ostrich pair. Those things are super comfortable.
I had a pair of Tony Lama.
I was married to Tony Llamas.
Python skin back in the day. And as time went on, as I wore them, and that's not a salad, Rob.
salads being worked on.
It looks like there's
Looking forward to
Okay,
that.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry now. I'm telling you what, guys. I A nice steak like that, grilled to perfection, wearing a nice pair of cowboy boots with some, yeah, that's just.
Yeah, they're on sale. Should check out the price here. See if I can get it going here. Was $40, 39, but on sale for 18. Two
So you'll pay
big T-bones.
You'll pay $18 for a steak, but you won't pay $300 for a pair of boots.
Well, that's two steaks.
It's
There's
2.5 pounds of steak for $18.
Yeah, but a pair
Of
of
course,
boots will
they're-
last you the rest of your life.
I don't think they'll let me in a place that sells boots for $400.
They'll take one look at him and kick him out.
No, man. You just tell them you paid
That's like
$18
happened
for
before.
2.5 pounds of steak, and they'll let you in.
So I went looking for a suit, and I went to this place. I don't recall the name, but I thought I heard something about a sale or something. They had something in their window one day, so I went into this place and I went up and asked them. I'm like, "Hey, you got well, first off, I barely got through the door before the guy was coming up like linebacker to me, and asked him. Yeah, I told him about it. I heard about a sale or something. He just looked at me. He's like, "Nah." He's like, "Nah, you got the wrong place." And so I was just like, "All right," and turned around and left. So that's actually happened.
See, Jamie, you got to remember, this is the whitest black guy I know. He walks into somewhere. It's not like a regular person walking in. It's a little different.
I don't know. I can't remember if I just got out of work or what, but I had a contract working for a guy here, owns a big hotel here downtown, and I was working at a fitness center building a reception desk, and they called me into like the office, and I showed up there, and they wouldn't even let me in. They called security and shit on me. So it's weird.
Somebody just needs to shoot that dude.
You can lean all the way forward and not have to worry about it.
Boy, can you imagine trying to put those in the stirrups of a saddle?
You'd poke yourself in the eye.
Yeah.
You ain't climbing any fences with those on.
You'd have to start way back, and the horse would probably kick the crap out of you before you ever got the toe in the left stirrup, but way before you ever threw your foot over. And then what do you do then? Anyway, we're all just fantasizing about the old West and playing cowboy and all that crap. So it's a fun thing to think about. Y'all hear my baby in there? Blaze.
Well, see, and that's the other thing, Rob. You got to remember too. With Jamie doing cowboy action, it's got to be traditional dress. So he's got to get himself some authentic, proper equipment
Mm-hmm.
from head
That's
to toe.
true. I've heard that. Yeah. The pants with no belt loops and all that type of stuff he was saying before too. Yeah, that's what I heard. It's more involved than just showing up with a revolver. So
Yep, a little bit more than just showing up with your pistolas.
Yeah. No, it's cool though. I've seen it. I've watched it. Not in person. I've watched it, on TV or whatever, internet or whatnot. So, but it's entertaining. So I think it's interesting. I mean, if you had the stuff, if I had the stuff already, I'd give it a try. But yeah, I'm not going to go out and spend that kind of money to do that. So I think it's kind of crazy. Like, sometimes those people, well, it's probably all the time. They're like half bent over, and they're shooting. It almost looks like damn near through the holster. Like, I know they're not, but it's just, I don't know, the form. It's interesting. So it's pretty cool. Lots of smoke.
Yeah, well, a lot of them
So
will
maybe
shoot.
I was watching Black Powder. I don't know.
A lot of them will shoot traditional loads, which would be a black powder load.
Well, there's classes within cowboy action. So there's black powder classes, and then we have really super traditional where the no belt loops type of thing. But then there's other classes where you can be a little more lenient.
Looks interesting. I've never heard of it being around here.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
It definitely looks fun, though. I can see that's probably why they forced him to shoot when he went and witnessed, to go watch a match. I mean, that's what I would do, because it's like new shooters. They're intimidated and stuff. You put it in their hand and let them shoot, and most of them, the majority, they get that grin. Yeah. So it's like throwing somebody in a fast car with a nice rumble. You really get on it, and the butterflies come out. Same type of thing. So that's probably why they did that, to get them hooked like a drug.
Oh yeah,
They're sass pickers.
Absolutely. I've been to a few different matches, and it's I've seen it where people show up just to watch. They don't usually end up watching. They usually end up getting dragged in and doing at least one stage.
That's cool, though.
They want,
and you'll find out if you like it or not. Yeah.
Well, that's it. You're not going to find out sitting on the sidelines.
Yep. Best way to do it is to jump in.
You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have issues, this, that, the other, but they'll walk you through it. That's the big thing, and that's where a lot of people mess up. Is they're so scared to do it, but instead of thinking about just going out and having fun, and people will walk you through it. They'll tell you what you're doing wrong, what not, what to do, what not to do, and all that.
Yeah, I've never been, but I'd recommend. I was just saying, I'd never been, but I'd recommend, like anything, approach it willing to learn, and don't show up being that cocky asshole. Because, when you're nice and ask questions, basically, when you're actually open and willing to learn, usually there's a lot of people that are happy to help. But when you show up being a cocky idiot, then they're so happy to watch you fail.
So basically, folks, what he's saying is don't show up and be bald and curious.
Where the hell is bald?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
Well, hopefully he didn't get himself locked up for doing 105 in that Prius of his.
How's he even fitting that thing?
It's he fits. I don't know. I haven't ridden in it with him or whatever, but he fits in the damn thing. I mean, he takes up that front seat, but according to him, it's actually roomy for such a small car. I think once you get in and get set, he's comfortable, but I don't know.
So
Yeah,
the
my
cars
happy
back
ass
home
would probably
have
have to take the seat out and drive from the back seat.
Yeah, I didn't check if he was driving from the front or rear, but he fits in it.
I was gonna say that the cars back home, they have different model names than here, but same car, just different model name. But I got in my brother's car, and even with the seat all the way back, my head was still hitting the roof. I had to scoot down and choke up my legs and all the rest of it, so I wasn't hitting the freaking roof.
I had a company. I got stuck with a company S10 for a little while, a long time ago, and I was pissed because it was a work truck. There is no back seat. It's like, I don't know, bolted to the damn floor or something. Yeah, I think it'll slide forward a little, but there's just no room in the thing. And like you sit there and drive down the road, go down some of these dirt roads to a job site, and the whole time my head's just like bouncing on the damn ceiling and shit. It's like, God, I hate this truck. So uh you had to kind of like sit sideways, like, go gangster or hood with it or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. So it's just kind of uncomfortable. I don't know. So I swore I'd never own a truck without a rear seat, but I just don't like that. And you can't. It kills things as far as like storage, all that type of stuff. You only get that little small spot. Like it's uh, just doesn't work for me.
Right. Yeah, I've only ever had one car that was super small like that. And it was just a quick thing they had to have to get me by until I could find something else. But literally, that was the same thing. I got in that thing, and every little thing I hit, my head would hit the roof.
Yeah, it gets annoying on a day you're already pissed off, having a bad day, and you come across a bumpy road.
Oh yeah, and that thing had almost no suspension either too, so it was horrible.
It's either that or like your legs are hitting the wheel, like so because it won't adjust back
Yep.
far enough, and the steering column doesn't pop up because it's older and whatnot. So now you're driving with the wheels, the wheel on your legs almost, praying you don't get in an accident.
That's always been one of my big issues with cars is that the steering wheel never goes high enough. Always way too low.
It's definitely nice to be able to adjust
Or,
them with not necessarily brand new cars, but most cars today. So manual adjust, I'll add. I draw my line when they make it electronic. So I mean, that's like the Range Rovers where the pedals will move closer, line up for each driver. But think about, you got individual motors for all that crap. Yeah, it's a lot more wiring. I mean, how lazy do you got to be? You can't just push the lever. I mean, mechanical's the way to go. I don't know. I don't want to pay for all that extra BS when it burns out or whatever.
yeah, it gets expensive fast. I've seen. My teacher used to have a Mercedes, and just for a sensor in one of those things was a couple $1,000 for a freaking sensor.
That's something. And how much did it cost to diagnose that sensor? Yeah, because there's probably like 500 of them in a modern Mercedes.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. You got to take it to a specialty dealer too. It's not just any mechanics. You know, they're a different beast.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice things out there, but it doesn't mean I want to own them. Yeah, I don't mind playing with them. I don't want to maintenance them or pay for it. Some of that includes women. No, I'm kidding.
Careful, she's standing right beside you.
All right, all right. I'm like in the other room, so I'm safe for now.
So she walks in and smacks you in the back of the head.
This is down on the
Wow.
grill.
Yeah, prices are through the roof, man. I don't know if you guys have looked at new truck prices, but new truck prices are insane.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't. I've said it a dozen times, but I think it's absolutely crazy, batshit crazy. The average person doesn't make that much. Unless a truck is making you money, and it's a business thing or something. I don't think the average person, you can't honestly afford to spend 60, 70, 80, 100 and some odd $1,000 on a truck. How do you justify that? I mean, it's going to be trash in 7 to 10 years. I mean, you do the math, that's like 10 grand a year for a vehicle. Shit, I bought my 95 for like $3,500 18 years ago, and I'm still driving a bitch. I mean, think how much money.
Right.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, you got to impress your friends. They're probably not really your friends.
Well, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
The average person ain't making that to where they can really afford something like that, man. It's just not.
It's crazy. I mean, you used to be able to get a house cheaper than that. I mean, you could still get a trailer on a small place or something in some areas, nowhere near town or nothing, but for cheaper than that. I mean, it's crazy. To me, it's crazy. I just, I don't know. To each their own, but I would much rather have freedom with cash in my pocket, an easy, dependable vehicle to fix. Like easy to fix, it's dependable. Brake rotor's $35. Try getting a brake rotor on a new truck, or you know what I mean, or something like that, or a brake caliper. Like, holy shit, my fuel pump $60. That's yours, isn't
I
it?
looked at. I looked at brake rotors for the current truck that I have just to see, because they were making the noise. So I wanted to just have an idea in case it was the issue. And it was I think it was like 150 for a set. Just nuts.
Yeah. They don't make them like they used to anymore. So I swear, you hit a few puddles and they freaking warp nowadays. It's like, it's crazy. Nobody turns them. You might find a dealer somewhere that'll just turn them for you, but everything's just throwaway by new. Fuel pump in modern vehicles, ascending unit, fuel pump, everything's all one package. So you're paying $250, $300. An older vehicle, you can just get the pump for $60 and replace it. Yeah. I don't know. It's just nuts.
Manufacturers on new vehicle siders are losing their ass right now because they've gone so ridiculous with pricing. I was having my Cherokee, my Trailhawk serviced 2 weeks ago. And inside the dealership, they had a Rubicon. Okay. Dressed up Rubicon with all the bells and whistles. MSRP on this thing was like 50 grand. And then the dealership had 60 more grand in add-ons put on this thing.
Crazy.
Nobody's going to take $110,000 vehicle and beat it down a trail Nobody wants to, I mean, seriously, this thing was set up to the hilt for off-roading. You gonna take 110 grand and go put a bunch of Texas stripes on the side of it? It just, it's absurd. It's absurd. People aren't
There's a
making
few
that kind of
people,
money.
but
It,
not many. Not many. That's definitely the minority, not the majority, for sure.
Yeah,
Tim
don't
out
get
there,
caught up
good
in the current economy. We spend money we don't have for stuff we don't need to impress people we don't like.
Pretty much. I like that, Jamie. I like that.
You'll get it.
Yeah.
You'll get it later.
Good phrase. I don't know, man. It's like, I've been saying it's kind of like the modern form of slavery, but we're doing it to ourselves. We want to keep up with the Joneses, so we got to buy a new vehicle every 3 to 5 years, and you got to have, these nice items and this type of gun and this type of flashlight and all this shit. Really, for what? It's pretty ridiculous. It's like we're enslaving ourselves for shiny junk. Yeah. We only got so much time. Yeah, you want to spend all your time working for garbage that looks nice. Yeah, that's your prerogative. But some of us like to go out and actually have some fun or do, have a hobby or something. We don't care that we're not driving, brand new shiny vehicle. Like, you can't buy cool. That's something I tell people a lot. Like, you just, kind of already aren't. So no reason to compensate. And
That's it. You either got it or you ain't got it.
Yep. I mean, we all have things we enjoy and splurges, or maybe that car we wanted or something. I mean, that's one thing, but to constantly just be in the circle of it, that's where I think people are just enslaving themselves. You're really doing yourselves any favor working yourself to death for these creditors and the bank loans and all this shit for your stuff that you don't have any time to really enjoy. I don't know. Maybe you think it's a good deal. I look at it from the outside and I say it sounds like a shit deal to me.
Right. No, you're not wrong. See, and there's Bama Dad talking about the new motor and a 13-year-old car. That's, a lot of times you can buy a crate motor for super cheap.
Long time ago, so I can't speak for prices now, but I got a quote for an engine for my Acura Integra at the time. At the same time, my friend was buying a crate motor for his Camaro, and we knew somebody at the store. Blah blah blah. We got a little bit of discount. He got his motor shipped, and it was like $500, and then slapped on a bunch of bolt-ons and drove it like a freaking beast, and blew it up. Year and a half later. But that I don't blame that on the crate motor. I blame that on if it would fit, this guy put it on. He was.
Right.
You didn't want to ride with him. Let me just put it that way. So, it's lucky he's alive. But anyway, crazy. Here's a difference between fun and stupid. And he was far on the stupid side. But anyway, my Acura motor, they went at the time, they wanted I think it was like $4,000 or something. And then there was going to be more because it had to be shipped from, I guess, overseas or something. They didn't have them here at the time or whatever. So, it's Honda or whatever, but still, it was a lot more money, like way more money. And when you could probably pick up, like one man could probably pick up that Honda motor, and versus that crate motor he got for the Camaro. I mean, it's like literally half the size, and he got that for $500 within a week. Yeah. It's nice if you can just slap the crate motor in. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, but shit. some of these vehicles and motors, cost more than the vehicle I'm driving right now. So not that that says a lot, but still, they want a lot of money for some
Well,
of this
and
stuff.
it's just handy to have the skills to work on your own stuff anyway versus taking it somewhere.
Definitely. You can't. I personally don't think you can trust the average tax nowadays. If you look at how the system's done, I don't know if anybody's familiar with mechanics or how it works, and they're basically encouraged to cut corners. That's the only way they're really making money in shop time. So, everything's booked, and they got to push through. Is what it is. So they're not, necessarily. You go get that quick, cheap brake change. The special they're running down at your local shop. They're not really pulling the glide pins out, re-greasing everything, cleaning them up, all that. No, they're just swapping pads, hitting it with an air wand, and calling it good, pretty much. And then they're
Right.
hoping you come back in a week with squeaking brakes so they can charge you more money. Like, it's getting ridiculous. I had bearings get pressed in, took the whole hub and everything over for them to press them in. They didn't do it right, blew out the reese in the back, and then they want to claim ignorance. It's like, well, is it supposed to look like that? They don't. You get a new set of tires. I did this. Went to the shop local. They put the tires on and they didn't set the guide right, and they tore the sidewall. Did they get a different tire and throw it on the car? No, they let it go, put it on the car instantly. I'm doing 30 miles an hour. My car's vibrating horrible. It's worse than my old tires. Like, my old tires felt fine. They were just needed to be changed. I had to call corporate, call 2 different shops. Corporate sent me to another shop in another town because they were having issues with the one I went to, one of these big chain things. And then finally, they made it seem like they were doing me a favor to replace the tire that they screwed up. Like, it's freaking ridiculous. Like, it's almost impossible to get decent. So you can't even order a burger and get it in a decent amount of time with shit being right these days, let alone a vehicle.
No. There's no customer service is long gone, man. Long gone.
It's gotten unfortunate, but many times nowadays, you want it done right, you got to do it yourself or learn how to do it yourself, something. So, because people are just encouraged to cut corners or don't give a shit.
That's the big thing, have that skill set, and if you don't have it, figure out how to learn it. It's,
Yeah. I press bearings
and share
into
it. And share it. The fact is not everybody knows how to do that shit, right? So 3 weeks ago, I did my girlfriend's brakes. 2 weeks ago, one of the guys that works for me, we tore down his wife's Dodge Caravan and did her brakes. He had never done brakes before. So this was a great learning experience. And now, guaranteed, he can do disc brakes all the way around on any vehicle. Share the knowledge.
And you save money. Like, having those skills, like, you'll save, you can save so much money. It's ridiculous doing stuff like that. So we looked it up the other day when I did the drive shaft. So here it would have been like $1,300 to have those installed. And I did it in my driveway in, I don't know, hour and a half or something like that. The average person is going to pay here $1,300. Like, that's crazy. It cost me $300 for the parts, but still in an hour and a half of my time. So I think that's a lot better deal than $1,300. I mean, and I would have had to drop my car off for at least most of the day, maybe the whole day. Like, it's crazy. So
right.
You can save yourself shitload of money. You can help your friends out, and you can make money. Because when you got skills, people just show up at your door. It's like being the only guy in the family with a pickup truck. People are going to be calling for you to move something. It's just the way it happens. If you're that entrepreneur spirit, you can make money on your day off just by owning a truck or whatever the case is.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, before we start going
Yeah.
through the room,
If people want to,
sorry, go ahead, Alan.
if people want to pay you to do the job, fine. I'm more than happy to make some money on the side. If you want to learn how to do the job, then I'm going to be right there, and I'm going to show you how to do the job, and I'm going to help you do it. And so then you're going to learn how to do it yourself, and this is a skill that you're going to end up carrying on with you, if I know how to do it or not. Nowadays, everybody can be a certified YouTube mechanic.
Absolutely. 100% true. Before we start going through the room, I would like to do a minute of silence to remember those who paid the ultimate price so that we can have these things that we have here and talk to you fine folks out there every week and be able to enjoy the freedoms that we do have. Yeah, we're having some issues with that. It's always a constant fight. So big thing is just keep up the fight. So with that being said, let's have a moment of silence to remember those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice for us. All right. Excellent. Thank you, folks. I appreciate that. I do. Absolutely 110% appreciate you guys doing that. To me, it's a big deal. So remember, tomorrow's not a day to thank a veteran. Tomorrow's a day to remember those that paid the ultimate sacrifice for all of us. So with that being said, we'll start going through the room. CW, what you got going on, man?
More videos, man. More videos. I did 4 of them today. I got another range trip later on this week. See what's going on. More loading. I don't know. We'll see what happens. See what comes in. I got a stock on order. Might come in later this week. Maybe I'll have a video on that in the coming weeks. I don't know. Staying busy. Trying to stay out of trouble. Go to my therapies. That's about it. Living the dream.
Awesome, man. Glad you could be here.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. Rob, what you got going on, dude?
Nothing that I can think of. You never know. So I'm pretty much random at this point, as far as, videos, things like that. So other than that, I just say thanks for the invite. So I appreciate everybody that shows up and is out there in the panel and stuff. I can't see your comments, or else I'd respond to you and yell at the ones cursing me out. But it's always a good time. So thanks for the invite. Obviously, we know what the meaning is tomorrow, so I'm glad that that's clear and people understand. And live your best life. That's what I got for you. Live your best life.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you, and I'm glad I could be your wingman and get you out of a sticky situation.
Thank you.
Jamie, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just got a couple more days off that I'm thankful for. Hopefully I'll get a video or 2 done in that time. We're going to the National Cemetery in Canton tomorrow, and just thankful that we have people willing to serve our country and preserve our freedoms and liberty. And, check us out Friday nights 8 o'clock, Georgia Shooting Connection channel, and that's it. Thanks for having me, guys. Y'all are so cool.
Absolutely, brother. Appreciate you being here. There's Thorzak's popping in. Good to see you, brother. So I appreciate everyone out there. I know it's a little bit slower of a chat, but that's all right. You know, we've been gone for a little bit, and but it's good to be back. Good to be back home, and good to see everyone out there, and appreciate everyone showing up. And with that being said, Allen, will you please take us out right?
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Great chatting with everybody. It's been a couple. Glad that the Scotsman is back in America. Had a good side chat. Great panel. Something to look forward for me is I'm trying to keep it under 22 minutes, but it is the accidental invention of the tea bag. Nevertheless, keep them magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!